So I'm out prospecting a new small creek. Didn't know what to expect. I'd never been here before, but I was surprised to see a fair amount of water. Not a lot of flow, but there's places where the water's backed up behind dams. So I just bring in my panning stuff with my backpack today. And I saw this spot here. There's a original quartz outcropping there, but then somebody's been active here. They've created their own tailings pile. I think they're just digging for quartz crystals. They set their promising seconds up there, I guess. So just poking around in the hole, see what dropped from the ceiling and stuff. Just looks like some crude crystals. But then I noticed this deer antler piece. It's got a hole in it, so somebody lost their necklace piece. All right, this is my first test pan. This area looks, this creek looks like it's mostly on bedrock. You can see these bedrock outcroppings. There's one down there. And my shovel and pack are, it's bedrock outcropping there, forcing the water that way. So there's a little pile of rocks and worn out bank. So I thought I'd try near the worn out bank. Maybe nobody's dug there before. And surprised they got into some clay, sticky clay stuff, decomposing bedrock, which is pretty surprising. It's a little chunk of rhyolite. And basalt type stuff. Can't quite tell what I think the bedrock is basalt, mostly up in here. We'll see. We'll see if there's much for ironstone or any other iron-bearing stuff, or see if there's any gold in this. Okay, so I classified out that first test pan, and it looks like most of the debris is just some kind, or rocks, or just some kind of rock. It's not the basalt volcanic rock. There's quartz in there. There are some reds for iron. There's a common iron stone or iron-based stone in the main creek. There's actually reef conglomerate. I was surprised to see that up in here. So there's an old reef, maybe shedding gold. There's a mineralized quartz piece. I'm going to keep that one because it looks like pyrite in it. And then here's a heavily, looks like iron stained or iron containing piece of quartz. I might keep that one too. But here's the pan. I've panned it down, and I am pleased to see a lot of iron bearing heavies in there. It looks like mostly limonite to me. There's probably some magnetite too, the iron stones, but there's a lot of squarish pieces in there. Oh, and there popped out a piece of gold. How about that? So there is gold up here. There's a little square piece of limonite, I believe. There's another micro up there. So it looks like one little flake and, or no, there's another little one. There's 3 or 4 little pieces of gold in here just out of a first random bucket. So that one was thick clayish mud with big rocks, medium rocks, and little rocks. So that helps hold some gold. But I think what I need to do is probably scrape some bedrock, see if I can't find a place where the gold might be accumulating, and see if I can find a higher concentration than that. But hey, there's gold here. I haven't seen any sign of anybody working up in here, so maybe it's not that good of a place to work. Or it comes to mind maybe bringing a hand dredge up in here and sucking bedrock cracks and stuff. Maybe that'll give you more concentrated gold. I don't know. I didn't bring one with me today, but so just scouting first time up here. So as I went back up towards my backpack to get my shovel after that first test pan, I crossed that little piece of bedrock sticking perpendicular to the stream, sticking out, and I felt with my foot to see if there was some material behind it, and there is. It's about a foot wide at the top, but it quickly goes really deep and pretty pointedly deep. You can see my shovel, the whole head is buried, so it's maybe a foot deep down towards that bottom. So that's what I've got here in the second test pan. Panned it out already. It's pretty much the same as the first one. It's just like muddy, very sandy, muddy type clays, and a lot of looks like iron stones and limonites in here. I didn't know if you noticed on the first pan there was no black sand, and so we'll check on this one too. But here's my first pan of it, so we'll see if there's any gold in this one. It's a big old chunk of limonite right there. Oh, I thought I saw a piece of gold, but it wasn't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You've got to be kidding me. Look at the size of that flake. I think that's a picker even. Wow, yeah. I think definitely I'm going to need a hand dredge up here. That's crazy. My second test pan. Wow, boy, that's a pleasant surprise. One other piece of gold with it, nothing else. Not really any black sands. Just the limonite. All right, there's that little picker for scale. Let's see if we can hear it make a sound in the pan. Yep, sure did. And this is still test pan number 2 with the picker. I noticed something silver shining in my pan, and it's just a really large cube of pyrite. It's the largest cube of pyrite I found prospecting up in the Uaris. And then you can see the limonite cubes, and there's some black and red stones that are the magnetite. So, wow, I am really surprised. Well, time to get on to that next one. We'll dig that bedrock V for sure. Yeah, I carry a strong magnet with me to test rocks to see if how much iron's in them and stuff. And yeah, just stuck that down in my pan there. Look at all that ironstone sticking to it. Large pieces too. So looks good. All right, so I dug out the rest of that V where I found the picker, and wasn't getting much, just a couple micros, couple smalls in each pan. And then I moved to the next V right there, same thing, not much. I went back to my original hole and just dug deeper, and got onto some like decomposing bedrock clays. It looked like pretty pure clay, but then again, just a couple micros. So I'm gonna start walking again. My back is tired from panning, butt sore from panning. So I did find a couple of interesting rocks. Found a nice opaque crystal there, and then a really super nice clear crystal, and a neat piece of debitage. Just one piece of debitage, but it's really good quality rhyolite. So no telling what you might find up in here, but definitely keeping the 2 crystals. So I was looking at my topo map, and what attracted me to explore this side was a deep gully that I went to, and that's where I did the test pannings. But as I was looking at it, I mean, it looked like the current goes through there so quickly that it might just blow everything, all the gravels through it, and the bedrock is pretty worn. Bedrock's exposed. There's not much depth to it. So I looked on the topo map, and I saw a flatter area up here. It's more of a floodplain. This creek's still got water in it. I guess maybe it's seasonal. It's got water in the wet season. I bet it's dry in the summer. But I wonder if the gold has more time to like settle out here in through this flat stretch. I'm going to see if I can pick a spot and dig down. Right on top, it looks like most stuff's pretty just sandy. But maybe I can get down to some decomposing bedrock or clays that would be able to accumulate some gold. So I did some test panning up in the flat and didn't get anything. I saw where one other person had done a test pan. No other activity. So I just walked back down to where the rocks are starting, and I saw a big old piece of iron sitting in the creek. I don't know what that's for. It's pretty thick gauge. It's pretty heavy, but it's been all shot up. It's like a pretty big caliber bullet to me. The bullets have popped out. Took some of the iron with them. Well, there's the other half of that iron piece. I don't know what the heck that is, but it broke. It's wedged in there too. I can't budge this one. It's just propped up there. But it does have writing on it. I think it says 0B50. 0B50. Or OB50. Don't know. That is thick. Well, it's late afternoon. I'm getting ready to wrap up. I just came across this little waterfall area. There's a property sign, which I don't know, on the map it shows this as all national forest property. I'm not sure what that's doing out here in the middle of a creek with no trails or anything around. And there's a little waterfall right there. Pretty big drop off, maybe about 5 feet. But I'm in this little mountain laurel tunnel. You know, wives' tales are that gold likes mountain laurel, or mountain laurel grows in the dirts that gold likes. Well, I haven't found any gold since this morning, since that picker, until just now, when I finally found one piece of gold and one lead shot. And this is the type of material it's coming out of. Kind of different kind of clay, but still lots of that black limonite and magnetite material up in this creek. Well, last pan of the day. I dug that hole deeper, got the big chunk of like the bottom clays. I got a big chunk of that and a medium chunk of that, and there you go, 2 nice flakes. But not a lot of gold for all that digging today. But it's interesting. So I did manage to find where it's at a little bit. For downstream seems to be better. If I can find intact clays where they haven't washed off, there's some, but you know, I don't know if it's worth coming back here and panning all day for that kind of rate, but maybe I'll do it again someday when it's a little cooler. It's already mid-spring, mid to late March, and it's really getting hot. Plus I have to do this in the wet season, I think, because there's water, but there's not a lot of flow. there's my gold from yesterday, the exploration up a new small creek I've never been to before. Found that picker on the second pan. Let's see how much that weighs. .046 grams. So that's pretty nice. .05 grams. See how much the rest of this gold is for the day. So for the day, .065 grams.